Hi everyone, my name is Nadia and this is Ripples of Change. Today we're going to do a quick 30-minute flow for the Sacral Chakra. And for this practice, you're going to want to have some blocks or maybe tomato cans or thick books on hand, and also a blanket just to allow for some comfort, some ease throughout our practice. And we're actually going to start with the blanket. We're going to start our practice in a seated position, and I like to put the blanket underneath my hips to give me a little bit more height. From here, once we're in this comfortable seated position, we want to find this alignment. We tuck our chin, and we should find ears over shoulders over hips. Allowing ourselves to drop into a little bit of the breath now. So inhaling for 4, and exhaling for 4. So this inhale for 4, exhale for 4 is all about creating balance in the breath. This balance between excitement and relaxation. We're going to push our balanced breath work a little bit further by adding in some alternate nasal breathing. So you want to have your left hand in a Gita Mudra, so your thumb and forefinger are touching, laid at the knee. With your right hand, you cover the right nostril. We'll inhale through the left nostril, cover the left nostril with the pinky, and then exhale through the right nostril. Inhaling through the right nostril. Thumb covers nose. Exhaling through the left nostril. Inhaling through the left nostril. Covering with pinky. And then exhaling through the right. Doing this a few more times at your own pace. So this alternate nostril breathing, it really balances out the left side of the brain and the right side of the brain. So the right side of the brain is really connected to our creativity, our sense of calm, and then our left side of the brain is really that action-oriented, analytical side of the body. So when we balance out the breath between both, we merge our creative and analytical parts of the body, allowing for an even deeper sense of balance. And why exactly this is connected to the sacral chakra? Well, our sacral chakra is really our bedrock of creativity. And so it's really important that we balance out those two parts of the body. One last breath on each side. And then finding a deep inhale through both nostrils, tightening up all the organs, clenching in the stomach, maybe even clenching in the face. And then we'll exhale, breathing out through the mouth. Pausing for a moment, allowing the energy to just flow throughout the body. Maybe even noticing the small shifts in our energy. Setting an intention for this practice. My intention for us all is maybe find balance. And then when you're ready, starting to blink open the eyes. We're going to start our practice by just looking from left to right. Really noticing, checking in with ourselves, what part of our neck has any discomfort. We don't want to start our practice off on the wrong foot by not listening in and connecting with how our body feels. Moving into next circles now. Opportunity here to really connect breath with motion. So maybe you inhale as you look up towards the sky and exhale as your chin drops to chest. Switching directions. It's fun that in Chinese medicine they say that clockwise is creation and counterclockwise is destruction. So even in the small act of finding next circles, we are practicing balance.
The essence of our true divinity.
Inhaling and coming to center. From here, we're just going to roll out our shoulders. So bring our shoulders down the back.
Healers, singers, and creators.
And then switching directions, bringing our shoulders forward.
We all have something powerful to say, to give.
Beautiful. We're going to inhale, rise the arms up towards the sky. And then exhale, we're going to drop our arms over to the left side so that the right hand touches the left knee. Seated spinal twist. Adding on, we'll lift up that left arm up and over, finding a side body stretch. Deep breathing here. And then we'll exhale, dropping that left hand to right knee, looking down towards the ground, and then sweeping that right hand from underneath, coming into a side body stretch or a twist on the other side. Adding on, we'll inhale, up and over, finding that now side body stretch.
Underneath our own feet.
Breathing here.
Woman, the mystical force from which we all come.
And then this time we'll exhale, drop both hands to the knees. We'll uncross our hands, walk our hands forward, seated forward fold. Allowing our neck to elongate, maybe inching the fingers a little bit more forward. Two more breaths here. And then we'll spinal roll up. Pausing for a moment. We're going to take the blanket from underneath our booties here and move into our tabletop. So for tabletop, we want hips over knees, shoulders over wrists.
The life giver.
And we're gonna start with just some cat-cow motions. So cow, our chin is up towards the sky, tailbone up to the sky. We exhale, cat, tailbone tucks down to the ground, forehead to the ground. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Two more like that. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Coming into a neutral tabletop. And then swaying out our hips from side to side here. We're now going to move into our first low lunge of today's practice. So we're gonna lift our right leg straight. And then we'll exhale, crunch forward. Two more times, straighten, and then crunch forward. This time we straighten, and then exhale, stepping our foot forward. Our knee is still towards the ground. We can walk our front foot a little bit more out to the edge of the mat if we want to open up some more space in the thighs. Breathe in here. This is an invitation to bring in your props if you want to sit up a little bit higher. Our chest is lifted. One last breath like that. And then we'll exhale, shifting our hips back, coming into our halfway split. And then bringing the blocks outside of our way, shifting our weight back forward, bringing our knee back to the ground, coming back into our tabletop. We'll shift our hips from side to side, maybe even finding some hip circles. Whatever you do on one side, you want to do on the other, so switching directions. Inhale, we'll lift the left leg. Exhale, crunch into the chest. 2 more like that, straighten. And then crunch forward. This time we'll straighten. Step the leg through, coming into that tabletop. Or coming into that low lunge, sorry. Grabbing the blocks if we want them, and then lifting up for that low lunge. Breathe in here. Finding that balancing breath, equal parts inhale, equal parts exhale. And then we'll press back in the hips, halfway split. Two more breaths here. And then bringing the blocks out of our way, shifting our weight onto our hands, bringing our knee back, finding some side-side hip sways, and then pressing back into a child's pose. Option to bring our knees wide, which will open up some space for our belly and thighs. Breathing here. What does it feel like to be balanced in our mind and in our bodies? We'll inhale, rise up. Flexing the feet on the ground. And then rising the hips up, coming into our first downward facing dog of today's practice. Allowing yourself to pedal out the knees. We're going to inhale, lift the left leg up towards the sky. Exhale, bend at the knee. Finding some hip circles here, so making a circle with our knee. Opening up in the hips. And then we'll exhale, stepping that foot forward. Planting the back foot on the ground, rising all the way up, having both legs straight. So we're in this like warrior 2 in our legs. Arm is straight, we'll then pivot. So we have this goddess pose here. Our arms are in cactus, holding this goddess. Finding this strength, maybe even lowering a bit. And then we'll exhale, straighten up, opening in the chest, interlacing the hands behind the back. Slight bend in the knee as we bring our chest forward and down. Allowing the hands to just lower. Keeping that interlocked if that feels good for you. You can also release. Bring the hands to the ground or grab both shoulders and sway. Slowly inhale, spinal roll up. We're gonna look towards the back of the mat. We pivot so that our toes, our right foot toes are facing the back of the mat, and we straighten the leg, straighten the back foot too. Arms are in this T. We'll then come in to our triangle pose, allowing ourselves to open up, twisting in the chest. Breathing here. And then we'll inhale, bending that front knee, coming into our warrior two. We'll then exhale, reversing our warrior. Beautiful. This time we'll cartwheel the hands back down to the back of the mat. We'll then press both feet. We're in our plank here, dropping the knees, lowering, chest to the ground, chin to the ground, straightening the back legs, lifting up into our baby cobra. Spinal roll back in to that downward facing dog. Breathing here. One last breath. And then we'll inhale, lifting the right leg this time up towards the sky, bending that right knee, and then finding circles on the other side. One last circle, and then we'll step the foot forward, propping the leg down, coming all the way smoothly into our goddess, lowering just a little bit more lower this time. Inhale, opening up, interlacing the hands behind the back, slight bend in the knees, dropping it back down, forward fold. This time you can even bring your hands to reach your ankles or to your thighs. Maybe even shift your weight from side to side. One last breath here. And then on our next inhale, rising up. Exhale, dropping back into that goddess one last time, finding this power, this strength. And then we're pivoting to the front of our mat. Our left leg is facing towards the front of our mat, leg is straight, arms to a T, and then we drop it, triangle. So we really want to rotate in the chest here. You can even look up towards the sky. Breathing here. And then we'll exhale, bend the knee, reversing our warrior. Beautiful. Cartwheeling the hands down to the mat, pressing back into our plank, finding knees to the ground, coming into that chaturanga. And then this time, when we're in our downward facing dog, bending the knees, looking forward to the top of the mat, and then stepping our hands on the outside of our feet to the outside of our hands. And then dropping down, coming into that yogi squat. From here, you could bring the block underneath your booty to give a little bit more support. You want to open up in the chest here. If this is hard, you could widen your stance a little bit more. And then we'll exhale, lower down to the ground.
To see without eyes, to walk without feet.
We'll inhale, bring our knees into chest, and sway from side to side.
This is my prayer for you.
We'll then grab our our peace fingers and grab them around our big toes, finding our happy baby here, knees in the chest. You can sway a little bit here from side to side. We've done a lot of hip openers in today's practice. This time we'll exhale, finding our feet onto the mat, dropping our hands to the mat. We'll kiss our feet together, knees wide. You're going to want to have both blocks on either side of the knee to really support the knees up. We'll bring our hand to heart center, hand to belly. Really just breathing here. So our hips are this beautiful part of feminine energy in the body. But they're also this place where we store a lot of tension, a lot of pain. Can finding balance be navigating this dance between allowing ourselves to feel the pain and allowing ourselves the opportunity to retract from it a bit? Can, in this moment, we just be present to whatever feelings have arisen from our practice? You can drop the blocks if you want them a little bit lower. Maybe bring them into the thighs a little bit more to support you still. And you can stay in this pose for your Shavasana, or you can swap out the blocks for just a blanket underneath the knees, lowering back down to the ground, allowing for the benefits of this practice to just soak into the body. Coming back to that, inhaling for 4 and exhaling for 4. That balancing breath that allows us to feel active and calm all at the same time. When we do this balancing breath, it also might even remind us of all of the times that we maybe cut our inhale short or cut our exhale short. Can we integrate this message throughout our lives of this constant goal of balance? Can we also have some grace for the times that we can't perfectly achieve the balance that we strive for? Few more breaths like that. And then slowly wiggling the fingers and toes. Coming into a fetal position on one side. And then when you're in this fetal position, just giving yourself a bit of a hug. Gratitude for taking the time to show up for yourself for this practice. And then when you're ready, coming into a seated position, you can bring both hands over heart center, either holding onto the chest or hands in prayer. May this practice be an opportunity and a reminder of the importance of balance in our daily lives. And maybe use this balanced mindset as a positive force for good that ripples to so many beyond us. Thank you so much for practicing with me today. Sat Nam, so it be. Ashe.